ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of JT and Liz. I'm your girl, Jasmine T, and this is my co host,
Liz.
A. We are two friends who met abroad while teaching English, and we talk about our lives abroad all the time. And we figured, hey, we thought we'd talk about it with you. Might as well. Oh, by the way, we're both back in the U.S., unfortunately. So that's why we kind of reminisce on our lives abroad to simpler times, happier times. Okay? But we're going to dive right on in with today's topic. This topic was actually thought up by Elizabeth. So, Liz, you want to bring us in?
Yeah, we were talking about what we decided on, like close encounters or like situations we've been in where we kind of almost got hurt or did get hurt or just something happened.
Mm-hmm. I forgot the hurt part, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
Gotcha. Okay, so you want to start us off or you want me to go?
um, you can go. Yeah, you go.
So actually, my story, I won't say it was a close encounter, but it was very unsettling, right?
Okay.
And I don't know if I told you about this before, but I was I was in Poland, but I wasn't in Warsaw. I
Uh huh.
had either gone, it was a weekend trip, so I was either in like Krakow or Wrocław or something like that.
Uh huh.
But I went to a meetup, and we all met at one bar, and then we ended up going to a club or whatnot. And long story short, was in this club because there was like a dance floor or whatnot,
Mhm.
and I was talking to people, and then I felt like somebody grabbed my butt and turned around.
Uh huh.
It wasn't a Polish guy. It wasn't anybody that was part of the group. I just gave him a mean stare, and that
Mhm.
was pretty much that, you know.
Mhm.
And not sure if he spoke any English. He didn't say anything,
Uh huh.
and I ended up just like turning back around, talking to the group or whatever. I just like brushed it off.
Yeah.
So he went to the other side of the club. Like I saw him walking away, you know, when I gave him the mean
Uh
stare or
huh.
whatnot. And then I would say about like 10, 15 minutes later, I'm still
Mhm.
talking to people. Dude comes back, touches me again.
Oh
And
my
I was just
goodness.
like, don't fucking touch me. Like, keep your
Oh
fucking hands
my
to yourself, you know?
goodness.
And it was
Yeah.
like,
Are other
but
people noticing at this time?
well, I don't think people are noticing.
Yeah.
And so he walks out of the club, but I do go to the event organizer, but at the same time, he's not part of our group. We are in a public space. And
Yeah.
I think this was like 2019. I mean, I had been in Poland for like a couple of months, but I still really wasn't sure what to do. So like I went to the organizer and I was just like, hey man, like, and I think that's what I told him. I was just like, hey, I don't know what to do. But if he comes
Yeah.
back, like, I think that was it. I was concerned, like, if he comes back, what do I do
Right.
next? Because this can't continue to happen.
Right.
And, like, he wasn't dismissive. I don't remember what he said exactly, but it
Uh-huh.
was more along the lines of, like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I guess, you know, if he comes
Yeah.
back, like, maybe we can go to somebody, you know, at the bar or whatnot and say
Yeah.
something. Um, but he didn't come back inside. But
Mhm.
I will say, when it was time for the group to leave again, like to leave to go to another place, we were outside and he was outside and he was looking at me, and
Oh
I
my
just like
goodness.
stayed close to the girls or
Yeah.
whatever that I was with. But I just remember like it was unsettling because I
Yeah.
didn't know who to call, didn't
Mm-hmm.
know where to go. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know protocol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it was unsettling, and it just kind of like actually this question, when you brought up this question, like
Yeah.
close encounters, where you almost got hurt or you
Yeah.
know anything like that. I actually thought about how ill prepared
Mm-hmm.
I went. You know, I
Yeah.
was when I went or whatnot. So that
Yeah.
was like one, just like if it would have escalated, I don't know exactly what I would
Right.
have done except
Right.
fight, which
Okay.
I've never done.
Do
And
you
it's
think
kind of,
anybody in the group would have helped you?
I don't know because it's a meetup and
You
you
don't
know,
know
I
the
do
people.
know that there were other like solo female travelers in that group because that's our, like, I even have pictures from that night where, you know, like we took pictures and everybody was having a
Right.
good time. It was just unfortunate that, you know, little
Right.
thing was happening. And, you know, you and I have talked about before about how like when something's happening in the moment, you just like I process it
Yeah.
later, you know.
Yeah, you kind of freeze too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think it was more along the lines of, all right, as long as he's not near me and we're going
Hmm.
to another place and he don't show up at the next place, you know?
Right.
Um, so yeah. So that was that one. And
Hmm.
then a second one. I think honestly that's the one that I think of the most. And
Yeah.
then another one which was kind of like a um where I think I was just a little too comfortable.
Hmm.
I was also I was in Warsaw, and I would always walk in the park. You might
Uh-huh.
know this. Like
I
I
remember.
walked in the park often,
Yeah.
and there were of course paved
Uh-huh.
walkways, but then
Hmm.
some people want to go off the beaten path, and there actually are little paths or whatnot. And I would take
Okay.
this shortcut pretty often, headphones on, like whatever. I
One
know
out
that sounds
or
sometimes one out, but you know, I don't know. I know you gotta be aware of your surroundings and whatnot. But I remember that day, this guy also was not Polish, but I remember that day, like earlier in the walk, like
Mhm.
in a very open, public, like paved area, this guy looked, kind of smiled or whatnot. And, I look back at him, just Southern hospitality in a way, just look back, smile again, back,
Yeah.
but keep on going about my way. And I remember him because he was also a foreigner, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and so about 15 or 20 minutes later, in a different area of the park, I'm doing my little cut through, and he's not coming from far, but he comes behind, like out the brush in a way.
Oh my goodness.
And is looking again, and in my mind I'm like, this motherfucker just came out of nowhere.
That's scary.
It was crazy. And I will say the difference in this one, he was smaller,
Okay.
like than the guy in the club. So in
Okay.
the guy in the club, you're sizing him up, and I'm like, he got me all day. The little guy, I was like, I stand a chance, you know. And and at that time, I was in that relationship or whatnot. So I
Uh,
went back to the apartment and I told old buddy, I told him what happened. And very soon after, we went somewhere and got me like a little thing of mace. And he
oh,
was
that's
just
right.
like, maybe switch up
Yeah.
your route or whatnot. But yeah, girl, I think those are like my two that I think about. Like, oh, this could have gone differently, and what would I have done?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's
yeah. And like I said, those could happen. Those are instances that could happen anywhere. They could happen
true.
here. You know what I mean? But
True.
I think it was just like, oh,
True.
I wouldn't know what to do next outside of call like another expat or, call 112. But I never even thought to
Right.
myself, like, that's not something I really want to have to go through or really want to have to
Right.
do. But
Yeah. No, that's scary. What would you
mm.
do though? What do you think you would do?
In what regard? Like,
Like, let's say like you were like the guy so he come out the cut and you doing your walk, and let's say he approached you like aggressively. What do you think? Like
aggressively?
yeah. Well, I mean that's what we're assuming, right? Like, cause you got that feeling, so like that could have. So what do you think? Like you could do if that would have happened.
Run faster than him? I, c- I mean, what would you do?
I'll probably do the same thing. Run, scream,
Mm-hmm.
make noise. Yeah.
Gotcha. And I will say, I mean, I will be in that park so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure people probably reckon, like, because I'd be there all the time. So I'm hoping
Yeah, yeah,
somebody would be like, you know,
yeah.
so Toby,
So,
what are you
so
doing?
now has that changed you though? Like now, do you like walk around with something? Do you have mace with you all the time now? Something in case something happens.
So you want me to admit I'm ill prepared? Like, because no, I
So
don't.
still, so you like try me again? You never.
um, I think I ended up just switching up my route. And then like that mace, I carried that mace with me a little bit afterwards, but I think a part of me is just like, if I mess around and spray myself,
They're normally like locked though. Like you just gotta like flip the thing.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know, man. So I told you, I realized how ill prepared
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
was. Sorry, mama.
Thinking about it now, does that make you like, let me put a little something in my purse?
I mean, you know what? Do you remember when we were in South Korea
Uh huh.
and we were kind of told, like, if you see someone in distress,
Oh yeah.
it might be against your nature to like walk away, like you want to
Yeah.
intervene, like
Yeah.
that might be your personality,
Yeah.
but don't.
Yeah.
You are a foreigner. Things could easily be switched on you in that situation if it's a situation with two locals and the police show up.
Right.
Even if you're trying to help, it could be turned on you. I remember
Yeah.
that was like one piece of advice when I
Yeah.
first got there, and I
Mhm.
just always thought to myself, you are a foreigner, you are a guest in this country, things may not work for you the way that they're supposed to, and that
Yeah.
could be something that I held on to that maybe I shouldn't have.
Mm.
But I think to myself, like, all right, you're two foreigners fighting in the park.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Who's to
Okay.
say that they're gonna listen to you? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You just maced this guy in the park, or
Yeah.
you had something on you and this guy ends up getting hurt in the park.
Uh huh.
I don't know. I just think about all the
Yeah.
ways it could go. Like if I see certain situations,
Mm.
or if I think my thing is like, all right, keep it moving, head down, keep it moving, keep it moving,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that's just how I generally. And if something's coming at me, up, I'm gonna run this way. If anything, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Am I wrong? Like, help
Let's
me.
ask them. Let's ask them.
Oh gosh, but no, I'm serious. So at the end, when we hear Elizabeth's story, I actually pulled up a list on how to prepare pre-departure checklist to make sure that you are prepared, safe, for safety measures and all that good stuff.
Uh huh.
And the amount of stuff I did not do on that list
Ooh,
is
I'll be interested.
shocking.
I'll be
Yeah,
interested to
so we're
hear.
gonna bring that up, and we'll see how many Elizabeth has done.
I doubt. I don't know.
Oh gosh! All right, so those were my uncomfortable stories. Elizabeth, what you got?
I think I only have three stories where I was actually like nervous, like afraid. The least pressing happened when I was in Puerto Rico. Was it my first time there? I think it was my first time there. I was there for like 7 days, I think. I was in Osawan. And Osawan is like really, really small. So you can walk around that whole part in
Mhm.
like, I don't know, it's only like 15 blocks or something small like that. So being there for 7 days, you know all the cracks, all the crevices. And so probably like around the fifth day or so, I was at this bar, and it was kind of late, maybe like 9ish or whatever. And I had this guy comes in with this girl, foreigners, and the guy sits down, and they're together, but there's space between him and the girl he came in with, like a chair between them. And
Okay.
he's like, oh, making small talk. Oh, how you doing? How long have you been here? What's good to do in the area, whatever. And I'm telling them, like, all the things that I've seen, and like little crevices, places in the cracks or whatever that's actually really good. Different streets they should try. So I'm telling him the story, but the girl's not looking, and he's telling me like they had just got there, and so like they want to know things to do,
Mhm.
but she's not looking. And it just stuck out because I'm like, if you just got here, you should be equally as invested as he is. So after a while, like, I
Mhm.
excused myself, I went to the bathroom, and then I came out, and then like I just left because I just got a really bad
Okay.
feeling, like I
Gotcha.
don't know what kind of setup this is. I don't know what they
Mhm.
planning, but they just didn't seem like people who had just got that just got there and were genuinely curious about what there was to do in the area. So I was like, they're fishing for something. It's late.
Mm.
The Airbnb I was renting was a few blocks away. I was like, I need to go now. So
Mm.
I just like left.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was like the first time I was out traveling and like that I had like that feeling like something's off. Something's
Mm-hmm.
off about them. So I just like left. The
Gotcha.
second time I was in the Philippines, I was in Boracay, and there was this big fight going on.
Ooh.
He was a big I'm bad with names, but I think he's a big like Filipino boxer, and he
Ah,
was
okay.
fighting. What's that? Oh, I see the thumbs up. What's the what's the guy? He's like really good. Not is it Mayweather? Is that his name?
Floyd
Mayweather.
Mayweather?
Yeah. So I think they were fighting each other.
Okay.
Yeah, they fought each
Is
other
that Manny
before.
Pacquiao?
Yeah.
Okay.
Him. Yeah.
Gosh.
So they were fighting each other. So it was like a big thing. Um, so they had this fight, and I believe Manny lost because I remember I was out and a fight was going on, and I remember like just being like crowds of people in the street, and like it was a little rowdy. Cause I don't know if he was like winning or losing or whatever the case, but
Mm-hmm.
people were really excited. So I was like, all right, I think I should start heading home because I don't know how the fight seems to be affecting how people are acting in the street,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know like
You
if
look like
he
Floyd.
loses.
Like, hold up. I don't know Floyd.
It's time to go. So I get back to my place, walk through the crowd or whatever. And so he ended up loses. He
Mm-hmm.
ended up losing. And I just hear like loud screaming and like I hear banging like from my hotel room, from other neighboring like people walking around the street, neighboring houses, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like what if they're looking for any foreigner they can find, any
Mm-hmm.
American they can, and I'm there alone. I'm like, I'm nervous. I hear like all this commotion. I just
Mm-hmm.
stay in my room for the rest of the night. I don't think I left the hotel until like maybe like 2-ish the next day, just to
Mm-hmm.
let things calm
Calm
down.
down.
Yeah, I think that was the second time I was like, yeah, I think I'm afraid.
Interesting.
I'm afraid something might happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Okay. Yeah, that's
What would you have done?
it's probably the same thing. I would have been like,
Yeah.
ooh, time to just
Yeah.
stay in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I would do that. There was a day in Poland, Independence Day. I believe it's in November. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, y'all. I believe. But that was a day, like, even my ex would say, like, hey, I think you need to stay inside today. Because
Really?
people would come from all over with their beliefs and kind of, you know,
Mm.
come and
Yeah.
march and stuff. And yeah,
Wow.
I just stay
Yeah.
in. So yeah, that's yeah. Until everything kind of like dissipates. So yeah,
Yeah.
and before I forget, so back to your first story where you say you just
Uh-huh.
got like an uneasy feeling. I
Yeah.
remember I was in Berlin and it was a meetup group,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But there was there was a guy, he lived there.
Mm-hmm.
So three of us joined this meetup. Me,
Mm-hmm.
this guy who seemed to live in Berlin, but for some reason was on meetup. It's fine. It's not
Mm-hmm.
unusual. And then there was another like backpacker guy,
Mm-hmm.
young little Caucasian fella, just
Uh-huh.
here to see the world. Was
Yeah.
literally couch surfing. Had
Okay.
and he had all his stuff with him because he was like transitioning between his stays or
Yeah.
whatnot. And the guy took us to like some pita spot, something, and sorry, kebab spot,
Uh-huh.
and I got an uneasy feeling from him. I just knew I was gonna eat, and whatever he had suggested, I was gonna, you know, bow out politely or whatnot.
Yeah.
And the young guy just seemed to just be going with the flow. And the guy was like, the older guy was like mentioning, things we could do, things to do after. And long story short, I knew I was going to leave. I didn't know what that young guy was going to do, but I ended
Mm-hmm.
up telling him, just like a big sister or what, even though I don't know this man, the young guy, I
Yeah.
was just like, hey, whatever you do, I think you just need to head on to your next stop. Just
Yeah.
FYI. Just because I
Yeah.
don't know if he got the same feeling I did, but I told him, I was just like, hey,
What did he say?
I think he just kind of like nodded. He was gonna do what he wanted to do. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it was like you know, not he wasn't dismissive of what I was saying, but it was just like,
Yeah.
I mean, I said my 2 cents. However he took it
Yeah.
was from there. But yeah, so
Wow.
always
So
follow
what
your gut for sure.
did you feel like he listened or you don't know?
I don't know. I ain't never
Yeah.
seen him again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just I did not.
I don't know. I just said my 2 cents. Yeah, I can't remember if we all went our separate ways or I can't
Yeah.
remember.
But do you know, like, because sometimes, like, when you say your 2 cents, it might not come across as, like, a warning, like, for real. It might just be like, yeah, I'm not going to drink that. And it might sound like, because you don't want to drink, but maybe because it's like you trying to tell somebody, like, yo, it's poison. Like, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I hear what you're saying. I can be
Do you
very
think you.
direct.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, man,
Okay.
I don't think you should drink that.
Okay.
He seems crazy. Because that's how somebody need to put it to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how you tell me,
Yeah.
hey, he ain't washed his hands. Or, hey, he's giving me creepy vibes. Hey, tell me. Yeah, sorry. So, what's your third story? I'm sorry.
Okay. So my third story, because I remember when I told you, um, I came back from vacation and we were at the lunch table, and I showed you the picture of the boat before we had got on. You were like, "That's the boat. Where's the boat?"
I don't remember this,
Philippines.
Elizabeth. You said it's the Philippines?
We were in the Philippines. We
Mm-hmm.
were in Cebu. I was with a friend that I had met when I was in Boracay, maybe like a year or so prior. Um, and so we met up. No, were we in Cebu? No, we were in
You so old.
Manila. I think we might have been in Manila. I think. Anyway, Philippines. And so we meet up or whatever, and we're, just finding things to do. I might have been there like a week. And one of
Mm-hmm.
the things we are going to do is like island hopping or whatever. So we go to the port, wherever the port is. And I can tell you off the back, this is probably not somewhere I would go if I didn't have someone local with me, because she's Filipina,
Mm.
she's from there. It was a lot to get there. I wouldn't have been able to do that
Was this
alone.
motorcycle girl or scooter girl?
Yeah, yeah.
Go on. Your best friend.
um, so yeah, so we get to the port. We tell them we want to go to the islands or whatever. They're like, okay, no problem. So we get on the boat. We take a little photo, and the guys are really nice. It's the two of us and
Mm-hmm.
like maybe like three guys. So they're taking our photos. Like everything is cool. So we're on the boat, and the boat is, I guess, like slightly larger than what you would call small, and it has like these, like, I don't know, bench things kind of like attached to like to the sides. So it's like it's the boat and then like the little bench stuff like right here. So like you could sit like right
Mm-hmm.
here. So it's like kind of like branching out. And I'm like on, I don't know where I am at this route going. But so we're going. And then everything's going good, but then there's like this one wave that like almost like takes us out. And I'm like, oh, I'm looking around, nobody else seems phased. I'm like, okay. Then we stop in one spot in the middle of the ocean or whatever, and this spot is good for like snorkeling, whatever. So we stop, and the guys are taking photos of us while we're in the water. I was like, hey, Christina, that wave back there,
Mm-hmm.
was that like normal.
Normal.
She's like, oh yeah. I go surfing. It's fine. Like, it's okay. That wasn't too crazy. I was like, okay, because I'm new to this, so I'm like, all right, if they're not tripping, I'm not tripping. Um, so we spend a little time there. We get on. The guys, they take us to like another island, like further out, and there we eat. We're taking pictures. It's not like a big island. You could tell it's one of those islands that nobody lives on. It's just there like a tourist destination. And so we're after maybe like, I don't know, like an hour or two, we're in the water. And I remember thinking, wow, this water's really hot. It's like, Chris, does the water feel hot to you? She's like, yeah, it feels kind of hot. It's like, that's weird. So it wasn't this hot like a few hours ago. It's like, all right. Anyway, we noticed the guys, they're waving to us like, it's time to go.
Come back. How deep were y'all in the water?
Oh, we weren't too deep. We were probably just like maybe neck or
That's
something.
deep. I was really hoping for you to put your hand somewhere so I could tell you that was deep. Go on, please, because you're tripping.
Well, we could both swim, so it wasn't
okay.
nothing,
That
crazy.
ocean don't care about that.
That's
just
true.
saying.
That is true. So we go back to the water. He's like, yeah, we have to go back. There's like a storm coming, whatever. It's like, okay. So we get on the boat. Everybody, put on their vest or whatever. And it starts getting really windy. And the waves start getting bigger. Kind of like the one that took us out before, but back like a whole bunch. And I remember they're coming from behind, they're coming from the side, and
That's
I remember silence. Everybody is silent. There's one guy at the front of the boat, and he's like locked in. All he's doing, he's not talking to nobody. You could tell he's in charge. He'll like do a little something with his hands, and the people would do whatever they're doing, slow down, turn the motor off, whatever. So I guess they got their hand signals going off. But I remember being like, whoa, it's a lot going on and nobody is talking. I'm looking at Christina. I could tell there's something going on, but she's not saying anything. And then, so you remember the little benches things on the outside? I'm on one of the benches. She's on the other side. And I'm sitting, and all of a sudden I feel like a hot push, and it's a wave, it's water, and it pushes me in the middle of the boat, and where I was sitting breaks. So that whole bench thing caves in, and I get thrown in the middle. So now I'm like scrambling, like trying to readjust myself. The men are like trying to help me. They're like, stay there. They don't speak any English. So Christina's like translating. She's like, stay there, stay there. And then she tells me this later. So Philippines, the Philippines, there's so many different islands, a lot of different like dialects. So she speaks Tagalog. They can speak that, but they speak something else that she can't speak. They start speaking their language, so she can't understand. And she tells me later, she was nervous shitless. She was nervous. She said when they started changing their language, she knew that they were nervous too, but they didn't want her to know that they were nervous. She didn't want me to know that she was nervous. Everybody was afraid. So I'm there, I'm holding on, and I mean, the waves are just like, the boat goes down, and you see the big wave come up on the other side. Everybody's dripping water. You can see everybody's face. Everybody's afraid. But I just remember the silence being like, dang, is this what it feels like? I never felt so small in my life, because all you see is just these huge waves on either side of you, and you're just this little boat. You don't see no land. I'm like, dang, is this how it happened? Like, is this the end? But those guys, they're doing their thing. They get us to the shore. And of course, the closer we get to the shore, the crazier the waves like get. So it starts getting really bad when we get closer. But they know the water. So one of the guys, he jumps out and he's like, no, look. And the water only comes up to like maybe like his navel or whatever to show
Mm-hmm.
us like it looks crazy, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
that out here. So then we get closer, and there was like a line of people who were trying to get like to go the way we had came from, and you could see the guys like, no, this is
Mm-hmm.
not the day. Like we're not
Mm-hmm.
doing any more today. And then
Mm-hmm.
Christina pulls me to the side and she's like, how much do you think we should tip them? And I'm
That
like,
part.
how much do you have? They need all of
Mm-hmm.
it. So we ended up giving them like, I don't know, $150, which is a lot, converts a lot. And to split between the three of them, like, you guys take it, you deserve it. Like, thank you. We appreciate you for getting us out like alive. And then I remember going to the lunch table, being like, girl, let me tell y'all what happened. And I remember showing y'all a picture of the boat. And it's so funny when I look at the picture, we just hanging on, we just smiling, holding on to the boat. Like, we have no idea what's about to happen.
If you got a picture of that boat, please send it to me. Like if you
I
still got it
will.
in an old phone somewhere. But I think my question, so two questions. How long was the, I guess, little commute from where that island to where, the tourist one?
Um, so for I guess, from the port to like the island we were
Mm-hmm.
at, maybe about 30 minutes.
Mm. Because when you
Maybe about
said
30
that
minutes.
you didn't see land,
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't see anything.
that's crazy. And was there no, I guess, like, was there not an option to just chill out on the tourist island until, or they thought, I wonder if they thought like they had time.
So I don't think they I don't think they knew like how long it would last.
Mm.
And that island wasn't really big. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I'm remembering another part. When we get back to our hotel, Christina's like aunt calls her and it's like, hey, I'm just checking in on you. You know, there's a typhoon. Make sure you don't go out and and she's just like, okay.
Okay.
She didn't say
I won't.
nothing.
You don't have to worry about that. I'm good. That's crazy. You were in typhoon like waters. Oh,
Yeah.
an oncoming typhoon, but still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I don't remember that story.
You don't? I
That's just my
remember.
memory, but that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, there was nobody for you to call.
No. No.
Listen, for time's sake, let's go over this list, that pre-departure list real quick,
Okay.
and we'll see how many Elizabeth has done. And you guys let us know in the comments what you have done as well. Now, the first thing, this is a pre-departure emergency prep checklist. And believe it or not, I've done step number one before.
Okay.
So this is official registrations, enroll in the U.S. State Department STEP program. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. Though I don't think I didn't do it until like I was in Korea for like a year because I didn't know
Mm,
about it prior.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did it before. I did it, I think, when I was in South Korea, and then, of course, had it in Poland as well. But, y'all, this enables the embassy to reach you in a crisis, and also, like, it'll let you know about demonstrations. Basically, your local U.S. embassy will just basically text you stuff that they feel like you need to know. It also said you could scan passport visa pages to the embassy's humanitarian visa portal if required.
Oh.
Never heard of this, but apparently this helps speeds replacement documents if you need any.
Mm.
I don't know about that. That's just me personally, but I don't know. But also, critical documents make two paper copies of passport, visa, insurance card, driver's license, vaccination card, if that still applies or whatnot. I had scanned copies, but I didn't have. I might have had a paper copy for something. What about you?
Yeah. I have paper copies and then I just scan and keep in my email.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if originals are lost or stolen, you can still prove
Right.
identity. Um, this one, emergency contact. So of course, program your phone with the local 911 equivalent, so like 112 in the EU. Add the U.S. Embassy or consulate number, 24-hour insurance hotline, global bank hotlines, and card loss numbers. I ain't do none of that.
Me neither. I did not, even though I've gone. left and went back. I
Mm-hmm.
still don't know what the 911 in Korea is.
Me neither. Because you just go to your school. But
What?
again, that's if it's a true emergency. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Or
That's
like, what if you
crazy.
happen to be out in the street? Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have no idea.
CCTV sees you. I think that's what it is. CCTV already knows. Also, I thought this was really good. Give your family a single PDF listing with your lodging and your local friends.
Well, yeah, I think because, like, they know, like, my address when I'm
My
going on
mama didn't
vacation.
know my address.
They didn't?
Uh-uh. They
Oh,
was just gonna have to
yeah.
find me.
Oh,
Uh
yeah. They knew my addresses. If I was on vacation, I would forward my flight information to them and the hotel or hostel I was staying at.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Never did that. Um I think we have like two or three more: travel, medical slash evacuation insurance. I don't think I had that. Ugh.
Mm-mm.
Carry extra 1 month supply of your pharmacy meds and a doctor letter. Okay. Download Red Cross First Aid and CDC Travwell apps. Learn nearest English speaking hospital. Yeah. Financial resilience. Notify banks of travel. I would do that. That's the one thing
Yeah,
I
I did
would
do
do.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Hmm. Oh, communications. Unlock phone by local SIM. I don't think. I think I just got a separate. I think I did get an eSIM for Poland. Yeah. Install offline maps and translation app with offline language pack. Always have a
I don't
power
think I
bank.
did that only because there's like Wi-Fi everywhere.
Mm, just in case. I can
No,
see how
you're
that's
right.
just a precaution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um. Oh, there's a lot of stuff. All right, we'll have to do this another day. I thought I didn't scroll. My bad. But yeah, guys, let us know any other pre-departure safety things that you guys would do. Also, let us know what you think of our stories today. What would you do in those situations? And yeah, Elizabeth, anything else you want to add?
No, just stay safe
Mm-hmm.
and understand that we could have almost died here in America too. You know, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean, this that easily could have been me on a cruise, on an
Mm-hmm.
excursion from a cruise,
Mm-hmm.
at a bar here, or like,
Yeah.
this really could have happened
Gotcha.
anywhere,
Yeah, it's really about like we said, the precautions and knowing what to do, because here we're kind of programmed, we know what to do, but in other places
Right.
not so
It, it
much.
it it feels heightened. Like the fear
Mhm.
feels heightened because you're somewhere else. Where it's like, oh my
Mhm.
goodness, what's not here? We know. Oh, 911, 911. I was like, oh, what's 911 here? Like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like,
Right.
so it just everything feels heightened because we're
Right.
overseas, and scarier because
Mhm.
we're overseas.
Y'all, see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.